There was silence before the journey began, a silence so deep that even thought dared not move. The prophet stood between light and shadow, and the voice of the Eternal called to him, soft as breath, yet strong as creation itself. "Come, my servant," said the Lord, "for the veil shall be lifted. You shall see what eyes have not seen, and hear what ears have not heard, the hidden order of heaven and earth." And in an instant the prophet was carried beyond the bounds of flesh and time. The earth below turned like a glowing ember, and above him opened the first of the 7 heavens. Light like morning mist surrounded him, gentle and warm, filled with the sound of waters running. Here were angels of the rising sun, keepers of time, measurers of days and seasons. They carried silver tablets inscribed with the deeds of men. For every dawn, they renewed the record of life. The prophet saw that even sunrise was a prayer, an act of mercy repeated each day to remind the world that it is still loved. And the Lord said, "This is the heaven of beginnings. Every breath, every thought, every act is written here as light or shadow. For dawn is not just for the world, it is for the soul." Then the prophet was lifted higher, where the air shone like glass and moved like song. This was the heaven of winds, where the angels of the 4 directions gathered the prayers of creation. They rose like incense, threads of gold and silver weaving into vast rivers of sound. Each prayer, whether spoken in joy or despair, became a note in the symphony of heaven. And the Lord said, "No prayer is lost. Even those whispered in doubt are carried here and made whole. For I dwell in every voice that seeks me." The prophet wept, for he saw how even the smallest plea was heard by the Almighty as clearly as thunder. He entered a vast and quiet realm, where light flowed like rivers through fields of peace. This was the heaven of the righteous, the garden where souls rest before the final dawn. He saw the just and merciful walking among trees of living flame. Their faces were calm, their eyes clear like new water. They did not speak, for joy itself was their language. And the Lord said, "These are they who kept the covenant of love." They lived not perfectly, but faithfully. Their tears became pearls, their pain became song. Here they wait, not in sleep, but in peace, for the world that shall be made new. Suddenly the air trembled, and the prophet was drawn into a realm of brightness so fierce that his spirit quaked within him. Here were the thrones, great wheels of flame turning in perfect order. Upon them rested the judgments of God, swift and pure. Lightning sang in patterns, and every spark was a decree of justice fulfilled. The Lord said, "Behold the balance of creation. Mercy and justice move together like flame and light. For to punish evil without compassion is not my will, nor to forgive without truth." And the prophet saw that even wrath in heaven was love, for it burned only to heal, never to destroy. The 5th heaven, the choirs of flame. Higher still he rose, and the sound of voices surrounded him, endless, pure, beyond the range of thought. Here were the seraphim and cherubim, creatures of many eyes and wings of living fire. They circled the unseen throne, crying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Heaven and earth are full of his glory." Their song was not noise, but power, each note shaping galaxies, each breath creating worlds. The prophet trembled, for the song passed through him like wind through a flame. And the Lord said, "These are the singers of being. They do not worship me because they must. They worship because they are. For every act of love is a note in their song." The sixth heaven, the order of mysteries. Beyond the choirs, the prophet entered a realm of deep light, not blazing, but infinite. Here, the mysteries of the cosmos turned like silent orbits. He saw patterns of stars forming words in a language older than time, and angels of wisdom standing like pillars of fire, guarding knowledge too vast for the mortal mind. They spoke without sound, and their thoughts entered his heart like waves. He saw how every atom mirrored the stars, how birth and death were doors in the same house, how light moved through creation as breath through lungs. And the Lord said, "Here dwells understanding." To see this is to know that all things are connected, that heaven and earth are one tapestry, woven by love, sustained by grace. The seventh heaven, the silence of God. Then the prophet was lifted beyond all sound, beyond all vision, into stillness deeper than existence itself. Here there were no angels, no stars, no time, only the presence. He could not see God, for sight itself bowed before that glory. He could not speak, for words dissolved into light. And in that silence the Lord spoke, not to his ears, but to his being. "You have seen all that is visible. Now behold what is true. I am not far from you. I am the breath within your breath, the light behind your eyes, the voice beneath all sound. Heaven and earth are not two realms. They are the rhythm of one heartbeat. Carry this knowing to the world that I dwell not only in the heavens, but in the heart that loves." Return of the prophet. When the prophet returned, the world felt both larger and smaller. Every leaf shone with meaning, every shadow whispered of eternity. He spoke softly, but his words burned like fire. The heavens are vast, but greater still is the mercy of God. For every soul is a sky, and every act of love opens a gate of light. Thus ends the visions of the seven heavens, the second part of the book of the mystery of heaven and earth. And it is said that whoever keeps this mystery in their heart shall see heaven not only above, but within. For the throne of God is nearer than breath, and the stars themselves are reflections of his love.